And good morning, guys. Hello, Donna. Saw your comment there, and Laura as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Wave meteorologist Brian Goode. Welcome to the blog today. What would you say, Renee? Your mom's birthday is the day before my mom's, Elaine, which is October 6th. We'll tell her happy birthday. Yeah, that's always a popular time. It seems like October 5th and 6th. All right, make sure to tell her I said happy birthday in advance. All right, good morning, everyone. Several things to update on today that I feel like we've been talking about all week. Before we get to that, though, let me just take a moment. I want to bring up some of the breaking news we're following right now into the eastern side of Jefferson County. This is a live look right now at I-64. This is going to be near the English Station area. This is the entire semi was fully engulfed in flames. Looks like more than one vehicle. This is the westbound flow before you get to the Snyder. Do not know yet if anyone's been seriously hurt or not. We're hearing word that may be the case, but I hope everyone's okay. But just be mindful of that area again on 64 westbound, coming in from, say, Shelbyville, trying to head toward the Snyder. That area right now is just closed, and it may be a while before that gets open again. We'll keep you updated on that. So on the news side, of course, today at midday at 11 a.m. All right, let's cover first off our live view in downtown. Notice, well, I'm sure you've noticed, it's been a little more on the cloudier side today than what we've had the past couple of days, and that's actually kept our thermometer up. And many areas, especially in the city of Louisville, we did not see much of a drop in temperature. Generally stayed in the 60s. All night long, and we're still relatively mild this morning. Cloud cover like this is going to hang on for another, I would say, 5 to maybe 6 hours in general, and then it'll thin out. So we will get more of a blue sky as we end up later on for this afternoon. So kind of be mindful of that there. So the other big story is the drought status came in. This is not a shocker at all. It was expanded. Just about everybody that's watching right now is in the low end drought status. We've only had, at least in Louisville, just under 1/4 inch of rain for the entire month of September so far. Normally we should be at this point closer to about 2 inches. So yeah, a little bit off the mark. And last year we were in a drought. We were in a drought last year, and we still had 2 more inches in the bank than what we do this year. So we need the rain. Everyone knows that. We need it for the fall color. We need to get rid of whatever the smell is going on in downtown. And we need it in general to help a lot of the harvesting that's trying to take place here for this season. And some of you like to plant grass this time of the year. It's always a good time to do it, right? But you don't want to sit there with a sprinkler going nonstop. That isn't much fun. So where is the rain? Well, it's actually on the radar. But much of this is not reaching the ground. And most of this is to the west of I-65. And this is one of those situations where the bark is worse than the bite. So again, it looks like it's a decent amount of rain, but there's not really a whole lot. It's falling there around the Wabash area. Here's the thing, though. This may be the most active we see the radar as far as having green showing up in our particular scan that we have for a while. So let's enjoy having something that's moving on the radar, because it's going to be a while before we see that, because there have been a couple of changes even since yesterday, and I certainly expect more changes, by the way, to kick in as we head down the road. Here's a wider view of the entire scope. By the way, real quick, hello, Travis. Good morning to you and Kentucky girl. Yeah, it felt pretty brisk this morning. It wasn't too bad outside. It wasn't too bad. It depends on where you're at, but I think it was really, really nice and comfortable with a cloudy sky. Okay, here are the features. There's actually three things I'm going to point out. One is the obvious little spin, little short wave, we'll call this, that's moving across Illinois. That's the reason why the rain is trying to get into wave country. Then we have a lot of dry air that's right over us. And the reason for that is because of the coastal low that may or may not develop. We'll see. There's another one that's out further in the Atlantic. If it were to develop, by the way, it would likely become a tropical storm or hurricane based on the outlook. The next two names on the list are Ophelia and Philippe. We'll see if one of those get named. For the Carolinas situation, it really doesn't matter if it gets named or not. It's still just a coastal low. They're used to this, but it's really been kind of a rough few months. They've had several of these systems, whether it was the impact of waves coming in from Hurricane Lee, or you've got a couple systems that have been offshore that have led to kind of a crummy setup this year. I don't think it's been the best of, I think spring breaks when it started, not the best of spring breaks all the way into the summer season for the beaches there. But this coastal low is going to keep the winds going, coastal rain, yada, yada, yada. But it's, again, indirectly having an influence on our weather, as you're about to see as we head into this upcoming weekend. Meanwhile, this is the next feature we're watching that right now stands as our main chance to try to get some rain in here for next week. Right now, it's got rain, and it's got some snow in the higher elevations. I tried to find some of the cameras. We don't have cameras everywhere out in the Rockies. I tried to find a few that I was going to show you just to get you guys revved up, but I couldn't find any. So maybe later today. But this is going to take some time. You can tell it's like a little bowling ball spinning there. It's not in any hurry to get here. So we got some time before we track it. So let me cover the short term, and then I'll kind of explain how this is going to look down the road here. Okay, you see this afternoon, any shower activity will continue to lift more north than it does east. That's the reason why we will see a gradual increase in the blue sky as we head into this afternoon. All right, we get into your Friday time period. Friday morning should start off a little sunnier. Friday looks to be the warmest right now of the entire period that we've been talking about, including the weekend and next week. Friday, we'll see the spike that if we're going to get a little closer to than 88 or an 89 here in the city of Louisville, it looks to be for tomorrow. Most of you will fall short of that, but you get the idea. But look to the coastal low to the east. You see how it's trying to trend a little more west, a little more inland. So it's throwing clouds all the way into East Kentucky. They will get cloud cover from the outer edge of this. But more importantly, what I've noticed in the overnight data while you've been asleep and all the way through today is that the flow coming in from this coastal low is allowing for not only a lot of sinking air, but a very low dew point. I'm getting dew point numbers that are coming in the upper 30s and lower 40s. What does that mean to you? That means the air is very, very dry for one. So get ready for a lot of blue sky now for the weekend. Two, it will allow for another drop in temperature this weekend. Remember those 40s we had earlier this week? I think they'll come back for Saturday night. We're going to have dramatic changes from morning to night. We may start off in some areas 45 degrees Saturday or Sunday mornings, and then you'll climb to about 80 or so in the afternoon. That's a good 40-degree jump from morning to afternoon. That's what really dry air will do for the area, and that's the way the weekend is looking. And the coastal low is the main driver on that. And again, if we didn't have this feature on the map, we would already have the low that's in Illinois today moving in, giving us rain today and probably a little bit of rain tomorrow. And it would certainly ease back the temperature dramatically. But because this feature is here, again, even though it's not heading right into Kentucky as far as the core of it, its outer edges are just enough, and it's throwing back effects into the Ohio Valley are just enough to allow for us to stay dry this weekend, certainly, and a very, very dry air. This may keep the numbers down a bit. You may see the highs drop a little bit. I think what we're doing is we're taking the highs and the lows and basically kind of just shifting them down a range, but still a very dramatic jump from morning to afternoon. After we get past whatever this feature is going to do, then we have to watch and see what happens with that low that moves in from the Rockies. Now, here's the problem. This is Sunday. Here is the low that's going to be split, basically. There's one piece here and one piece here, all right? And you're looking at the euro. We get into Monday and Tuesday. Two things are happening at this point. Most of the models agree on this, by the way. One's heading south and will likely just stall and disintegrate. And the other one's going to get pulled right back into Canada. Now, the problem here is the southern one. I don't know yet if it's going to drift all the way south or it's kind of just drift a little more east. That stalling delayed effect of where that drifts is still the main challenge we've got. Yesterday, it was spitting out close to 3-4 inches of rain for Tuesday into Wednesday. Today, nothing is showing up. So quite the flip-flop going on. And because the models just don't know how to handle it. So we're trying to forecast this from a pattern standpoint. And all I can tell you is that until this coastal low just gets off the map, it's going to be really hard to get much to move anywhere. I think there'll be some progression to the east, but is it enough? Will it get to wave country, or will it stay in Memphis or Paducah or Evansville? Those are the kind of questions we've got to figure out. But just be mindful that there could be at least a change still in the forecast. So we're going to trend a little lower in the rain chances you'll see, but it could easily, I could come back in tomorrow morning and it will show that the southern piece will have a better chance to go a little more east because the coastal low is going to move a little faster. Those little small details may not seem like a lot, but they have big impact on the overall long range when you look at that. So that's one piece to watch out for. The next one is, after it fades away, is another piece that'll be rolling in from the Rockies, and it'll quickly dive to the south and east. Now, this is the Euro that likes this. The Euro brings it right into our backyard and our doorstep as we head toward the end of the week and perhaps next weekend. The GFS wants to take it, sorry, let me redraw that, wants to take it up here in the Great Lakes. Two different complete ideas of how that would move through. GFS idea would mean, yeah, we're going to be in some problems here with the drought. The Euro idea is a little more to the south and would be a soaking rainfall. Why is this looking this way? Why is this such a challenge? Well, I'm going to show you in a second with one of the teleconnections we look at. But basically, you're getting the jet that is dipping across the Rockies, giving areas of the Rockies the rain, and as Travis is saying here, the mountain snow. Yeah, the Rocky Mountain National Park closing because of snow. But they get to the Rockies, but then they get basically, we call it a wave break. It breaks off from this piece of the jet, and then it's like wanders away, like just a lost little puppy there, doesn't know where to go. So it kind of just drifts away from the main flow of the jet. The jet is just not very strong in this area of the country at all. It's very weak. The jet's very strong here into the Rockies. So anything that comes through here breaks free, and then it just gets lost, doesn't know where to go. So confidence in the, again, overall long range is just low because we don't know how many of these little cutoff lows are going to get pulled off or wave breaks, and then that will have a great impact on rainfall. But you see the Euro's got it right on top of us. It moves off to the east, and then maybe we'll get into a cooler pattern after that window. But here's the Euro. If we were to get that rain later next week, a big if, it's got 1 to 3 inches of rain. Remember yesterday, it had, 5-6 inches of rain right here, and hardly anything in East Kentucky. But it also, again, it like the early week system moving into the area. Today, the early week system is trying to drift toward Memphis and skip us, and that's the reason why you're seeing a bit of a change there. So here are the issues. Here's the rain chance overall from the GFS ensembles. I love looking at this because this really charts out all the different modeling ideas. This is about 50 different types of model ideas combined into one overall average or mean of what the outlook would be. And you can see that the overall percentage is there just about every day next week, but it's about a 20 to 30, maybe a 40% range. I think that's fair. I don't want you guys to think we're being lazy, just saying there's a 20% chance of rain every day next week, because there basically will be. But that's the best way to handle the scenario. You kind of have to go with the overall pattern idea and broad brush. It's really hard to get into specifics when we don't know yet how these waves will break off from the Rockies and where they will go and whether or not they will linger here longer than expected, et cetera, et cetera. We don't know that. So it's best to just go with the general rain chance, and we'll just do what we have been doing and just keep fine-tuning those numbers as they spit out, right? Here's a look at rainfall amounts. Obviously, I'm showing you this because it's a really good example of the problem here, because the potential rainfall, this is for Louisville, and it may be hard to see the numbers, so I apologize. But it's ranging from basically nothing to as much as about 2.5 inches of rain, because it doesn't understand yet, although there's not many models you can see that really, or model ensembles of the GFS that really want to go on the higher end. Most of them on the lower end of of that scale. Temperature, the same thing. You want to focus on the black line. That is the mean of all the different potential temperature ranges, the ups and downs, highs and lows as we enter next week. You can see when you get a lot of squiggly lines around the black line, that indicates so many different scenarios. The models just don't know. I mean, a cloudy, rainy day obviously will keep us in the 60s. We go partly sunny, we'll probably get to about 80 or so for the afternoon. So there's still a very low confidence outlook even on the temperature side. Well, we'll do the same thing with the rain chance. We're going to go with kind of the middle of the ground approach on this as we into next week. Just kind of give you guys a little bit behind the scenes on at least our style forecasting, and most meteorologists do this, is to just take the general trend and plot it that way, okay? But here's the reason why we are having such a problem with the waves breaking off the Rockies. It's the PNA, the Pacific North American teleconnection, which is, you're going to hear a lot about this in the wintertime, guys. The black lines you're looking at, anytime it goes north of the black line, this is just one factor that would signal that the eastern coast has a cooling effect. West coast heats up. When it dips below the black line, you get a cooling effect out west, and we heat up here. And same thing, and it just goes back and forth. But when you get it back and forth like that, it's going above the line, below the line, up the line, and that's how it goes into early October. That causes a lot of stress on the jet stream, if you will. That you're going to have waves that are going to break off from that. It's a cutoff low scenario that teleconnections are telling us is going to be the factor. So that's where we stand. So let me give you the summary on this. And here are the numbers. We're going to go with the warmest day in the next 24, 36 hours here, today and tomorrow. And then we'll gradually ease back. Again, cooler nights this weekend. That's one thing you don't see there that I want to make sure you guys know is a bit of a change. And then next week, we'll account for the early week system to be around. And then we'll account for the late week system that comes off the Rockies to be around. But we're going to have to keep the chances low. But as you can see, just about every day. Hey, Twanak. Can you hear me, Twain? Can you come in here for just 1 second? Hold on 1 second, guys. Hang tight for me.
Yes.
Stand by. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to check on something real quick. I'm still here. So that's, again, the trend that we're looking at for highs and lows for next week. We need about 4 inches of rain to get us completely out of the drought scenario, but at the moment, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You may be asking about that October cool down that's coming our way. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I get new data coming in today, this afternoon, actually. I'm going to look over, and then tomorrow I'll do a little more of a focus on that. I hope that's fair. All right, any questions you guys have? You guys are really quiet this morning. Really quiet. Everyone's already logging off. You're like, we're done. It's been, yeah, look, I know it's not a very exciting blog this week, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. I was going to show you guys something really cool, though, about a winter folklore. I'll do that tomorrow. I thought I had it loaded, but I didn't at all. Myra and Sari. How are you, Myra? Man, you always time this out perfectly, right when I'm wrapping up.
I'm super late today.
You're super late. Want to say hi to everybody real quick?
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
You know that feeling when my alarm was supposed to go off at 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then I woke up at 7:15, and we're supposed to leave the house at 7:20 to go drop the kids off. And then it was like when you get up and you don't know which direction to go because you're so crazy at that moment. That's how my day is starting off.
Do you need help? Can I do anything?
You look cute.
There's Twana, Andrew. Twana, say hi to everybody.
Do I have to wear my hoodie?
What?
I like it. Is it marble?
Everyone say hi to Twana. It's a party.
I know stuff all the time.
It's a party in the studio.
By the way, an update for you on that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they haven't gotten any word of any injuries in that crash.
Okay, there's the crash again. That's 64 West near English Station Road. Remains closed and likely will be because this is a mess. When you got trucks involved, semis that were fully engulfed, it's going to take a while to get the debris off. They may get one lane open maybe, but it will be a problem there for a while. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Myra's about to jump on to the news side of the app, so make sure to tune in and watch her. And I will see you guys coming up here on midday. All right, take care.
Celebrate this event and being a part of this milestone. The 25th anniversary of